Hey everyone, Alexa here from the blog theduvalhomestead.com, and today I'm coming at you from my couch. This is not a professional looking video, but it doesn't need to be because I just want to show you a really quick tour of our garden in the front, back, and side yard and how it's coming together. We've been working hard on this the last few weeks and I've been sharing updates over on the blog. I wanted to come on here and just give you a little tour of what's been going on. So first of all, in the backyard, we have chickens and we had an issue where they were kicking the dirt up over the retaining wall that existed in the backyard before we moved in. So it really wasn't retaining them. So we just fixed that with new blocks from Lowe's. And that was a really good solution. If you have chickens and you want them to free roam, because we want them to be in the dirt, but they kick it up so much that it was going over the rocks. And we had just put in a French drain, and so we couldn't have them kicking dirt over the rocks because the whole point of the rocks is to drain the water. Long story short, we fixed that with the additional retaining wall. So retaining walls are a great thing if you have chickens, because if you want to let them roam in the dirt and be in the garden, but you don't want them to make a huge mess, it really keeps the dirt in really well. Next, I wanted to show you our weeding. We have a crazy amount of weeds in the front of the yard. It's funny, our backyard doesn't have a really big weed problem, but the front yard seems to have it really bad. I don't know if that's because the chickens are in the back maybe, and they are able to kick up the weeds before they grow. But for the front yard, what I did was I pulled the weeds out by hand. Now, if you're gonna do this, I suggest using a shovel, but my shovel actually broke because I was using it way too much. So my husband came to the rescue and used a blowtorch, and that is a really effective way. Just make sure you have like your hose nearby or something so that if something were to catch on fire, you're safe. Now, it's unlikely that's gonna happen, especially if you're blowing on dirt and whatnot. It's a really safe way to kill the weeds and prevent them from growing back. You do have to maintain this though and do it regularly, so we're gonna be keeping up with it. So another way you can combat weeds is by making a mixture of water and vinegar and a little bit of dish soap. We like to do things really naturally here, and we're really careful with what we put on the ground. We don't really use commercial weed killers, which probably work way better, but this definitely helps. In the front yard, I bought some peony bushes, which are super pretty, and they have already bloomed, and I brought them in the house and everything. But I wanted to plant some more peony bushes, and I got some bulbs, but I don't think they're gonna grow this year. At least they haven't started at all, so I'm not exactly sure how long it takes to get a peony bush to a good size. Maybe it's a couple years. If it's that long, I don't know if I want to keep them. I might just buy another bush. So this part of the yard is the side of our house, and we have a lot of space here. A little bit of dirt, mostly grass, and then our wood fence. And I don't know what to do here. I put some seeds that we aren't going to be using this year, and I just went ahead and planted them. But if you have any ideas for what I should do here, let me know. I am open to ideas. So if you remember, we set up this trough planter box to hold some veggies and flowers on our deck, and it's coming along really nicely, so I thought I'd show you a little before and after. So we have a lot of beans, carrots, we have winter squash, flowers, dahlias, a lot going on in here. It's a little crowded, but I think it'll be just fine. I will keep updating as we see some blooms. And of course, the best part of end of spring, early summer is just being able to bring flowers in. So all the flowers that we had bought at the store were blooming and everything, and I brought them in and put them on our tablescape, and I also decorated the front porch. And I have different videos for those if you want to see more about what I did there. Alright, well that's a quick little garden update for you. Make sure you stay tuned for the next one. I have blog posts on my blog at theduvalhomestead.com that talk more about updates in our garden, and I'm going to be doing some for our home as well. Alright, well if you're new to my page, make sure you subscribe on YouTube and like on Facebook. Every week I post new farm-to-table recipes, homesteading, and homemade natural living from our homestead here in Duval. Thanks so much for stopping by.